process today at the practice facility in Tualatin. You were there, Mr. Meringue.
Indeed, I was.
And it was Dalton Knecht, the sharpshooter out of the University of Tennessee.
Previously of Northern Colorado.
Yeah, he went from the Rockies to Rocky Top.
Indeed. Great interview. Surprisingly, even though he's about 6'6", felt longer, rangier kind of guy. This will probably scare some people, but he kind of reminded me of Luke Babbitt when I first met him, in the sense of like, oh, you're bigger than I thought. Like he plays bigger, but he also just like feels bigger in general. Like
Babbitt was a big dude.
Yeah, Babbitt was 6'8".
Look, there are guys that have that presence, right? There's guys that are bigger that play small, and then there's guys at 6'6" who can play bigger. And you just look at Dalton Knecht, and it was always like his release is really high, right? If you look at all the pictures of him, like the still shots of him shooting, he does kind of have that plays bigger, but I guess it's encouraging that he looks bigger.
Yeah, and
because a 6'6" small combo, small
he's
forward.
He's a 2-3 for sure. For those that don't know, he was at Northern Colorado. He went into the draft process last year, and they're like, "Hey, man, look, you did well. We appreciate you, but you did it at Northern Colorado. Like it's the same kind of questions you have about Dame when he comes out after 4 years at Weber State. Can he do it at the next level? Well, yeah, if you run 10,000 pick and rolls and you lead the country in scoring, you're the most efficient pick and roll player in college basketball history. It's probably going to translate.
Yeah, that was Dame, by the way.
That was Dame. Yeah. And
that's not Dalton Knecht.
No.
That's not Dalton.
But Dalton Knecht was very good and very efficient and went to Tennessee. SEC probably had the best conference in basketball this year.
Yeah.
Through up and down.
Yeah.
And they fell on their face from the NCAA tournament. But
Big East went, no, we still got it.
Yeah. But top to bottom, I mean, SEC play was nasty, gritty, and he was their offense. Like that was how their offense went. Bruce Pearl said, "Go cook."
Rick Barnes.
I said Bruce Pearl.
Yeah, you did.
Sorry.
Former Tennessee coach Bruce Pearl.
Still in my brain.
Yeah. He's in the SEC. He's at Auburn.
Yes, I have the orange chest paint still in my head. I can't unsee that. But Knecht is a guy who went to the next level and went, all right, bet. Yeah. And from there, he was able to deliver. If you're looking for the profile for him, he is a guy who he's going to tick a lot of the white guy boxes, but he's more of a, let's go down this road. He's more of a Tyler Hero than a Gordon Hayward. Stylistically.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
That does.
We're not bowl cut. Okay. We got a little more swag to us.
Yeah.
Okay. But in college last year at Tennessee, averaged almost 22, 5, and 2. Okay. He had a near 30% usage rate, 29.8, which that's a lot. It's a lot.
I think for the normal person, they're like, I have no idea what that means.
Scaling wise, that means you're doing everything. And his assist rate at 13.4 is lower, which means he's running and gunning. He is scoring, which is why you saw him have multiple 30 and 40-point games in college basketball, which that's not, like, I know we've seen these scoring explosions in the NBA. That's not normal in college. We haven't had that since, like, Mike Beasley.
Okay, and this is one of the, another name that you don't want to hear in the draft process.
Well, no, as a prospect, look, Beasley was crazy.
He was crazy.
Talent-wise, he was through the roof.
Okay. One thing, though, that you have questions about a guy who at the college level is not a point guard but has the ball in his hands that much, is he going to be able to be a guy where he translates to the NBA and with his ability to shoot, can he be the catch and shoot, spot up shooter moving away from the ball effectively? Yes. And I actually asked him about the, did he learn anything going from Northern Colorado to Tennessee? That jump in competitiveness, that jump in level of play, and can he apply it to the NBA? And he's like, yeah, I think that's a pretty instructive process. It's like, I showed that not only can I do it, I can excel at it. And I followed it up with, this draft, a lot of people talk about it as some sort of, glue guy, rotation player. There are no stars in this draft. Are you looking at telling teams like, look, I know you want X, Y, and Z, but I can be more. I look at the production I just had. I used Dylan Jones kind of as an example when he was in town the other day. I asked him essentially the same question, like,
Dylan Jones was 20, 10, and 5. You were 22, 5, and 2 on crazy efficiency, where you didn't have a lot of other help around you offensively. Are you telling teams like, look, yes, I'll do whatever I need to do to get on the court, but also I could cook? Because that's the thing is like, there's going to be somebody out of this class where he goes, oh, this guy's a role player. This guy's a role player. Well, I don't think you're looking at him like Duncan Robinson. Like, and I know it's easy to make the trope like, oh, white guy shooter, off ball. Like, this dude had on ball juice. Like, he was creating for him. Like, you're not looking at Dalton like, I don't know about his, like Jared McCain. You're like, I don't know about his handle. He can shoot the hell out of the ball. I don't know if he's like a real creation guy. Dalton Knecht was hezzy tween 40 a night type stuff for like a 2-week period at Tennessee, where he was just nuking the country.
And then therein lies that question that I was asking is, all right, you have that, but in the NBA stylistically where he won't be the 1 or 2 option, can he be the guy that has that in his bag, but is still as effective when he's not with the ball in his hand?
I think so. And I think
because in a perfect world, you don't want a Dalton Knecht to have the ball in his hand as much as he had it at Tennessee.
No.
And guys change. Like, we've seen guys that go to the NBA and it's like, well, if he's not ball dominant, then he's doesn't have it.
And that's the thing is he can play off ball. Tennessee just didn't have the capacity to really set him up. And that's the thing is I look at him and I go, I think he's going to fit in entirely well. Sprague loves him. Brandon and I have debated this back and forth on Jack Ramsey's. The whole idea of like he wants something I know this is a feeling among Blazers fans. They want something nice and safe and tangible. I want to count on this. I want this shiny thing that's going to be good. Like, I know it's good. There's likely a ceiling to it. I like Dalton. I think he's probably, outside of Alex Sarr, maybe Reed Shepherd, the safest pick in the lottery, because he can shoot the hell out of the ball. He can create, and is he the best athlete on the planet? No. But is his athleticism limited? No. Is he a terrible defender? No. Like, he's entirely passable. But what he does do well.
That's like 15 years of Blazers basketball. Defense, entirely passable.
No, I'm just saying, like, if he's not, like, here's the thing. Most guys in the NBA aren't good defenders. Like, when you talk about, like, the scaling of, like, the difference between how good Drew Holiday is at the top versus, like, your average defender, it's a chasm. And we don't talk about it that way. It's like, no. He's a savant defensively. And then there's, like, everybody else, like, the value gained and gleaned from, like, Drew Holiday is massive. But it's not it's not as easily quantifiable as this man hit 3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's where a lot of this comes from. So Knecht is a guy who I would be okay with them taking at 14. He will not last to 14. He's just his range is actually
because of the safety that you're talking about.
Because, like, when you look at this draft, like, I don't know, he's safe. He gets buckets, he shoots 3, and he's got not necessarily plus size. If he's a 2, he's got plus size. Like, if he's a 6'6" 2 guard, then you've got. Then he when I asked about him, like what else he could do in the NBA, he's like, honestly, I think I could play the 1. Like, I could run your offense. Which if all of a sudden he becomes kind of like your bench initiator and his shooting gravity is the thing that kind of makes things easier for everyone else, you might have a little something there.
Well, and I think that there's an importance on that when you get into a tempo style game and teams are running on you and having the ability to just get the ball in and get the ball up the floor. No matter what, or in transition, have a guy who can still initiate your offense and not be the point guard, you know?
Having multiple points of initiation is a huge thing. It is something this team has needed for a long time.
Yep.
I will look, Phil Beckner
and we say that without, like, when CJ and Dame would be on the floor, it would be, if CJ would bring it up, it would be dribble.
Those aren't initiators. Yeah, that's the thing is, like, you look at that and you go, okay, who are the guys? Like, Evan Turner is initiator. Like, the problem is that the Dame CJ stuff was already so funky that it added I don't even want to call it a square peg because Evan's just his own different beast, but having like a
undefinable shape is Evan Turner.
Yes. But like a Kyle Anderson, Boris Diaw, Hell, Mike Conley's an initiator and gatherer, but like the offense runs through Anthony Edwards. But when they play like crap, it's because Mike Conley's not on the floor. Like you need to have an organizer / initiator, and that is something that they have struggled to get. Josh Hart was a guy who works as that, and he does that in New York. He's not like running everything, but if all of a sudden the ball swings to the second side or he grabs a rebound and goes, you don't worry about Josh. Hey, Josh, get Jalen the ball now. No, you trust him to get him into your stuff and to exploit a mismatch or get down the floor and start the offense earlier. And the Blazers need that on the second side and additional creation and shooting. So again, if Dalton did fall to 14, totally okay with it.
But you're not using 7 on him.
I wouldn't. I think you need to swing bigger at that point.
And look, with the Topic injury, right, yesterday, that 7 to 14 range is going to be wonky,
honestly, I heard that the Charlotte Hornets are chasing Reed Shepherd, which they're at 6. Reed's probably going top 4. So are they looking to move around, or is Reed going to fall back?
And that was going to be my follow-up is, could you see the Blazers saying, all right, we know he's not going to be there at 14. Is there going to be room to move up and get him? Utah's not moving out of 10. Memphis isn't moving out of 9 in all likelihood.
Well, Memphis might move up if they want Klingon.
You're looking at like 11. Would he be there in that 11 range, or
that's probably his floor?
Utah kind of seems like a team that if he would be there, they would.
I firmly believe that if Cody Williams is there, they're going to take Cody.
Yeah.
That very much seems to be I shouldn't say consensus, but that's the feel right now. So this draft is shaking up to be pretty. Look, it's not the same high level talent at the very top, but it's starting to get pretty spicy behind the scenes as far as like what teams are looking at and what's happening. And I'll have some stuff to share as it pertains to the draft process probably tomorrow afternoon as well. So.
Okay. Ooh. Oh. And then we got another solo workout coming in tomorrow.
Yes.
For the Blazers, that they keep all of this very tightly guarded.
Mm-hmm.
So we will find out. Are you going to be there tomorrow?
Maybe.
Maybe there. Okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
We'll see what's happening on that side of things. There's been some shifts, as it were, in how workouts are being done in this cycle, not just with the Blazers, but around the entire NBA.
Oh, so when you say that leads me to believe agent-led. Yeah. Little protection being put up by the agents there.
A lot of agents are trying to control where things are going right now because things are so uncertain, and that's what leads me to partially believe why things are getting so spicy behind the scenes.
Oh, I like it.
It's fun.
I like it.
It's
Here
getting
comes
interesting.
The drama. Well, we are 3 weeks from today of the first. Remember Thursday?
Yeah,
Thursday, day 1 of the NBA Finals today. The way that the NBA Finals go, we'll have is it 5 days? And Sunday would be Game 7 of next week, right? Next weekend, not this weekend, but the following weekend. So then you're looking at like a 5-day window there between finals ending, NBA draft starting.
Yeah, if it went 7.
Wow, that's crazy.
Which I've heard that workouts might go on until like a day before the draft.
Wow. All right.
So
let's buckle up, Buttercup.
Like I said, it's that last mock that comes out like Tuesday or Wednesday. That very last mock, particularly from ESPN, because they're the ones that are giving Ian Woo, are the ones that are getting the order right, as opposed to mock boards. That's going to be really interesting because we've had like 1 or 2 guys here or there. The Paolo Banchero stuff last year, where a particular news broker may or may not have made some money. Bless you.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
May or may not have been talking about particular changes that did or didn't take place while being brought to you by a certain gambling company.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
You may remember the Hornets are looking at Scoot Henderson at number 2. Yeah. That maybe that tweet that you're talking about.